just finished meeting for pronunciation practice on April 9th, and we started with coax. So the X at the end of a word will always sound like KX. So maybe I should put that there. X is KS. At the beginning, it could be a Z, but this is like box. Coax. And so I put coax in parentheses because it could be the same as do you want Pepsis or Cokes? But this is convince. I couldn't coax the dog to come outside. Couldn't coax the dog to come outside. Mold. The D is just held. If you just say, I see there is some mold, but if it's mold on, if there's a vowel after it, then you'll hear it. There's mold on the wall. Onomatopoeia. These that are in gray, I copied from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. So if you ever need to find Merriam-Webster, you need to find a good example word or a sentence, this is a good way to do it. So it's hard to think of sentences when you need to. It gives you the spelling, the pronunciation, and then some example sentences here, but you can always scroll down and get more. So buzz and hiss are examples of onomatopoeia. It means a word that sounds like the sound it makes. So onomatopoeia, onomatopoeia, onomatopoeia. It's kind of fun to say. Buzz and hiss are examples of onomatopoeia. Now, this I found out I have been putting stress on the wrong syllable, or maybe the syllable that a lot of Americans use, because I always said charcuterie, but the dictionary says it's charcuterie, charcuterie. So I'm sure you will hear it both ways in the United States. There will be a charcuterie board. There will be charcuterie board tastings, or there will be charcuterie board tastings. This word, superfluous, means extra, unnecessary stuff. Superfluous. Even though it does look like it should sound like superfluous. That's how I remember how to spell it. But it sounds like superfluous. He cleared off all the superfluous stuff on his desk. I'm underlining the connections here. Cleared off all. It will be connected. Superfluous stuff on his desk. You can keep this sounding like pre at the beginning because you'll hear that a lot, preliminary. But I also changed it to pra because it's not stressed and you'll hear that a lot, preliminary. And because it does sound like lemon, although it should be lemon. If this helps you remember, preliminary, the preliminary round of the tournament. And tournament can sound like tournament or tournament. You'll hear it both ways. This can also be pro or pra because it's not stressed. Protagonist or protagonist. She was a leading protagonist in the civil rights movement. And I didn't underline all the connections here, but I heard myself say she was a leading protagonist in the civil rights movement. Antagonist will sound very similar. It's the same stress. Antagonists. If you're going to have STS, then nists. Make the S, push your tongue up to stop the airflow for the T, and then lower it to have the airflow. Antagonists. So please name the novel's hero and his antagonists. His Zan. I'm connecting this for sure. His Zan. And algorithm. Algorithm. I made this bold because it's voiced the. Algorithm. Rhythm. It's the same as rhythm spelled this way. It can be spelled both ways. There's an algorithm for that. Lots of the in there. Alleviate means to make less bad, to decrease. This will alleviate your allergy symptoms. This will alleviate. I made a lot of L's in your allergy symptoms, your allergy. Zing. This could be a sound. Zing. It could be something that's a little not spicy, but a sharp flavor. So the dictionary had the barbecue sauce with zing. And it is hard to go from this TH to the Z with zing. So you can keep your airflow going with zing. And as you pull your tongue in from the TH, you're making the Z. Keep making the airflow with zing, with zing, with zing. Or take a little pause with, and then move your tongue to the right position. Zing, with zing. Barbecue sauce with zing. Zany. This means a little eccentric, not crazy, but just a little out there. Another one of his zany ideas. So a little bit crazy. Another one of his zany ideas. And then lots of vowel differences here. I, as in hit, spit. You won't hear it if you just say spit. The tongue stays in the T position. But if you connect it with a vowel after it, then you'll hear he spit out his gum. That T changes to a D. This T changes to a D, and the H disappears. He spit out his gum. He spit out his gum. Spite is the vowel I. In spite of is a common expression. In spite of their differences, they got along. Got along. Split, and this is the I vowel again, so your tongue should be a little higher than E, should be I. Split. Let's split the check. Spat. This is the A. Your jaw is very open, tongue very flat. Spat. He spat out his gum. It can be the past tense of spit, or it can mean a small argument. We had a little spat. Spare. The vowel is air. A spare tire. And arithmetic. Arithmetic. Hold it in the position if you're not going to have a word after it. So let me do these again. Coax. Mold. Onomatopoeia. It's fun to say. Charcuterie. Superfluous. Preliminary. Tournament. Protagonist. Antagonists. Algorithm. Rhythm. Alleviate. Zing. Zany. Spit. Spite. Split. Spat. Spare. Arithmetic. Good. That's it. Thank you. And I want to remind everyone that I will be starting group instruction for accent modification for 3 months, May, June, July. And I'm keeping it small, like 10 people. And we will do more pronunciation and intonation. And you'll meet with me individually, one-to-one, once a month. And then we'll have group meetings and online instruction. So it will be a good way to spend your summer to make progress for 3 months. The link will be below. And thank you for watching. I hope it was helpful.